I'm doing a little bit of work to the floor here and essentially removing some of the old glue and felt. It looks great. It just does take a little bit of elbow grease to get up these layers. Get down to these beautiful floors, and they have the square nails intact, so these would be the original floors that were here in the cabin in roughly 1850. These times that are so uncertain with COVID-19, we are following the social distancing guidelines and are taking necessary steps to make sure that everyone is safe. So I didn't want anybody to think that we were doing something that would endanger the health of our volunteers or of our board members. So,
speaking of guidelines, as we go forward in our Ray House project, these are the standards for treatment of historic properties that we'll follow. We want to be sure that the Ray House will have the best historic integrity going forward.
Try to be very mindful of the plaster. We'll be very mindful of the wood surfaces, make sure that they're preserved. If there's wallpaper that's intact, we'll try to save as much as we can. The difficult thing with the Ray House is the years of neglect have meant that there has been a significant amount of water damage here. So it could be that some parts of the plaster, obviously some of the wood has even rotted. So we're going to have to take that out. That doesn't put us in the best light when it comes to historic preservation, but we're doing the best that we can. I think the fact that we have the Ray House here and that it's still standing, and we have so much rich history associated with it, that's inspiring all in of itself. We'll know more when we can get into the floor, but in this particular area, this probably was completely covered over with plaster until it was opened up. It goes out into the main house, and from the main stairway, there was a sliding door here. It used this barn door hardware. Something that's really interesting to me as well are the ways in which these two buildings have been put together. Here, and this is the junction between the two structures, between the cabin and the 1890s second story addition.
When we look inside the wall, we can see evidence of the braced frame, which includes the hand-hewn timbers and the hand-hewn joints with the wooden pegs, and you see those here. In a braced frame, the majority of the structural support comes from these heavy timbers, and then the weight is distributed across the timber and also supplemented by additional 2x4s that are attached to the braced frame.
In looking a little bit closer inside the wall, I can see where it looks like it's possible that the wall studs have shifted off of the floor joist. It looks to be that maybe there was a shift of about 3 inches, but I'm not sure if they're actually affixed over on the other side of the floor joist or if they should be on top of those. So we'll have to get that addressed right away. The wood is also in very good shape in this part of the house. It's very solid and there's no water damage, so that's really good to see. One of the interesting parts about the cabin as well are the glass panes in the dormers. So they are 6/6, and that is indicative of the age being probably in the 1830s to 1850s. That particular style of glass was more common at that time because glass was very difficult to make, and so the panes were always much smaller. 6/6 was something that was a little bit more doable for a glass maker. But you move the window up
And then you turn the mechanism down like that, and it holds the window in place. It's time to put the window down. And just flip this up, and it takes away that friction so that the window can be released.
A long way to go on this, and I better get busy. Something that I want to let you guys okay. Going forward, I just touched my face. There's no germs here, I swear. I don't know. I'm horrible at making videos. I'm awful. Somebody help me.